Court of Appeals upholds the Securities and Exchange Commission findings that Rappler's agreement with a foreign investor constitutes some foreign control, contrary to the Constitution. But in a 72-page decision, the CA says Rappler must be given reasonable time to correct the disputed parts of deal. In cases where the Articles of Incorporation is found by the SEC to be non-compliant, under Section 17 of the Corporation Code, the SEC is mandated to give incorporators a reasonable time within which to correct or modify the objectionable portions. The SEC earlier revoked Rappler's license to operate. The CA remands the case to the SEC to assess the legal impact of the Midday donation to Rappler's managers. Rappler said in its petition that the SEC violated its right to due process when it skipped several steps in its own procedure and issued the decision after asking only an explanation from Rappler. According to the SEC's procedures, the party can file a motion for reconsideration. The CA said it agrees that the SEC did not follow its own rules, but said the same does not, by itself, amount to a violation of procedural due process. Francis Lim, lawyer for Rappler, says he has yet to receive an official copy of the decision. He adds Rappler will take all legal actions necessary to have the issue finally resolved by the Supreme Court. President Rodrigo Duterte signs the landmark Bangsamoro Organic Law, or BOL, Thursday. The signing comes 8 days after the Bicameral Conference Committee finalized the bill following days of heated discussions. Duterte certified the bill as urgent, paving the way for the speedy passage of the measure in Congress. The Senate was the first to ratify the BICAM report on the measure ahead of Duterte's third State of the Nation address, or SONA, Monday. The House of Representatives failed to push through with the measure's ratification because of the leadership showdown between former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and Pantaleon Alvarez for House Speaker. The law replaces the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao with the new Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, which would have greater fiscal autonomy, a regional government, parliament, and justice system. The law has an opt-in provision, allowing areas adjacent to the region to join the Bangsamoro with a petition of at least 10% of their voters. The law is the culmination of a peace deal signed between the Moro Islamic Liberation Front and past administrations. In tech news, Facebook loses more than $100 billion of its $630 billion market value Thursday. Overnight, shares dove nearly 20%. It is the biggest wipeout in stock market history. CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost about $15 billion, a sixth of his net worth. Facebook and analysts identify European data regulations, privacy issues, and the exploration of new advertising products as the main causes of the slowdown. Facebook didn't directly cite the scandals it faced, but that likely contributed to the plunge. Meanwhile, Amazon's profits in the past quarter jumped 12 times to $2.5 billion. The stronger-than-expected profit helped lift Amazon shares 1.8% in after-hours trading, even though its revenue increase came in short of forecasts, rising 3% to $52.9 billion. Chief executive and founder Jeff Bezos' Amazon stake made him the world's richest person. At the close of trade Thursday, Amazon's market value was at $877 billion, inching closer to Google's parent Alphabet and trailing Apple at $955 billion. Research firm eMarketer says Amazon's e-commerce will account for 49% of U.S. online retail sales and nearly 5% of all retail spending. In a surprising turn of events, the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, or SBP, decides to pull out Gilas Pilipinas in the men's basketball competition of the 2018 Asian Games. In a statement, the SBP says, quote, "The time and chance to participate in the 2018 Asian Games would not be optimal." The SBP says it needs to regroup as it prepares to appeal to FIBA the suspensions meted out to Gilas players and coaches who figured in the infamous brawl between the Philippines and Australia last July 2. The suspension of 10 Gilas players from the brawl earlier prompted the SBP to come up with a retooled lineup that would have been composed of rain-or-shine players. The National Basketball Federation tapped NLEX head coach Yang Giao to lead the national team again for the first time since 2009.